Uninsured, underinsured, liability, collision, comprehensive, no fault. These are all insurance terms that are thrown around by agents when you're looking to buy car insurance. But what do they mean? How much insurance coverage do you need? I'm Jim Kirschbaum with Kirschbaum Injury Law here in suburban Minneapolis, and in this video, I will answer these questions. No fault is insurance that covers you for your medical expenses and your wage loss, whether or not the accident was someone else's fault. Now, I go into this in depth in another video that you can find on our website at www.kirschbauminjurylaw.com and on our YouTube channel. Don't forget to ask your insurance agent about stacking no-fault coverages. I also cover that in the no-fault video. Collision is coverage for property damage to your car. This may be covered under the insurance policy of the driver that caused your accident, but your collision insurance will cover repairs if the accident is not someone else's fault. Comprehensive covers damages not related to a crash. It covers damage to the glass in your car. Will also cover the contents of your car in the event of an accident or theft. Liability is very important coverage. This covers you in the event that you cause an accident. The amount of coverage you choose depends on what you have to lose. If someone is seriously injured and brings a claim against you and receives a large judgment, they can take steps to attach assets that you own. High enough insurance coverage will help protect you from that happening. In Minnesota, you are obligated by law to have at least $30,000 in liability coverage, but we recommend having at least $100,000 or more if you can afford the premiums. You can also purchase an umbrella policy for relatively little money that will cover you if a judgment is in excess of your liability coverage amount. Another thing to consider about the amount of liability coverage you choose is that your insurance policy will usually have uninsured, underinsured coverage in the same amount as the liability coverage that you choose to buy. It doesn't have to be, it can be as little as $25,000 in Minnesota, but most people opt for the same amount of coverage as their liability coverage. Now, why is this important? Because these coverages become available to you in the event that an uninsured driver causes your injuries, or the driver that caused the crash does not have high enough liability limits to sufficiently compensate you. Let's talk first about uninsured coverage. This comes into play in a situation where the driver that causes the crash has broken the law by not having liability insurance, or the driver cannot be identified, like in a hit and run situation. Now, for this coverage, you look to the policy of insurance on the car you were riding in at the time of the accident. If you're in your car, you would look to your insurance company. If you're a passenger in someone else's car, your claim would be made against their insurance company. Essentially, the insurance company for the car you were in fills the role that would have been filled by the liability insurance company for the driver that caused the accident if they had insurance. Underinsured coverage pays you the value of your claim if it exceeds the amount available under the other driver's liability coverage. For example, let's say that your injuries are worth $100,000 and you have $100,000 in underinsured coverage, and the other driver only has liability coverage limits of $30,000. You would make a claim against your underinsured policy for the amount that the value of your injuries exceeds the other driver's liability coverage. In this example, your underinsured claim would be $70,000. Now, if your injuries are worth $150,000, with the same coverages, you would make a claim against your underinsured motorist policy for the full $100,000 policy limit, since this, plus the $30,000 liability limit, still does not equal the value of your injury. As you can see, this can be really complicated stuff. Now, a really good insurance agent can help you find the coverage that you need at a price that you can afford. It's really important to have the proper amount of insurance should you ever be involved in a car crash. If you have been involved in a crash, hiring a great attorney is essential to walk you through the maze of available coverage. We can help. Give us a call to set up a no-charge, no-obligation consultation.